There is a moment in every transformation when it is already too late to stop. The hand has touched, the fingers have closed, and the thing that is being reached for has already begun to become something else. That moment, that exact fraction of a second, is what Gian Lorenzo Bernini carved into a single block of white Carrara marble in 1625. He was 26 years old. The sculpture is called Apollo and Daphne. It stands in the Galleria Borghese in Rome, 8 feet tall, and it depicts the culminating instant of a story from Ovid's Metamorphoses. Apollo, the god of the sun, has been struck by Cupid's golden arrow and consumed by desire for the nymph Daphne. Daphne, struck by Cupid's lead arrow, rejects him completely and flees. Apollo chases. He is a god. He is faster. His hand reaches her. His fingers close around her waist. And at that exact moment, Daphne's father, a river god, answers her prayer. Her feet become roots. Her skin becomes bark. Her hair becomes laurel branches. She transforms as she is being caught. Bernini chose to freeze the sculpture at the precise instant Apollo's hand touches skin that is already turning to wood. Not before the touch, not after the transformation, the exact threshold between the two. The moment that lasted less than a second and which he made last forever. When you walk around this sculpture, it changes. Apollo's expression from one side reads as triumph. From directly in front, it reads as terror. He has caught what he wanted and is watching it become unreachable in his hands. Subscribe to Carrara. This is what it looks like when a 26-year-old decides to do the impossible. Until Bernini, no sculptor had attempted this. The story of Apollo and Daphne had been painted hundreds of times. Every painter chose the same safe stage. Daphne mid-transformation, arms raised, branches already sprouting, Apollo approaching but not yet touching. A manageable moment where the metamorphosis reads clearly. Bernini chose the exact instant no one had dared freeze. The split second in which Apollo's fingers are touching flesh that has just begun to stiffen into wood, which meant carving two different materials from one block of stone. Smooth skin transitioning on the same surface into rough bark. Individual human hairs flowing upward on the same surface into laurel leaves less than a centimeter thick. Those leaves should not exist in marble. Marble is heavy, brittle, and inflexible. A laurel leaf in marble projects into empty space with no structural support. One misplaced chisel strike would snap it. Giuliano Finelli, the craftsman who carved the finest details, reportedly worked in a state of controlled terror. And above the leaves, Daphne's hair. Individual strands, rising and spreading, so thin in places that light passes through them. Not painted to look transparent, physically thin enough that they genuinely are. The sculptor who made this was 24 when he started. He paused a year to carve the David. Then he came back, finished it at 26, and became the most famous sculptor in Europe. Here is the problem with making a pagan sculpture for a Catholic cardinal. Cardinal Scipione Borghese was the nephew of Pope Paul V and one of the most powerful men in Rome. A man of genuine aesthetic passion who commissioned Bernini for a series of mythological sculptures depicting pagan stories and physical desire. Works that, in the context of the Counter-Reformation Church, required justification. The justification was provided by Maffeo Barberini, a friend of Borghese's and the future Pope Urban VIII. He composed a Latin couplet engraved on the pedestal. Those who love to pursue fleeing forms of pleasure, in the end, find only leaves and bitter berries in their hands. The inscription transforms the entire meaning of the sculpture. Without it, you are looking at a pagan myth about desire and transformation. With it, You are looking at a moral warning. Lust is self-defeating. Apollo pursued Daphne and ended up holding a tree. The pursuit of earthly pleasure ends in emptiness. Bernini was almost certainly not thinking about moral theology when he was carving Daphne's hair strand by strand. He was thinking about how to make marble move. But the theological alibi made the sculpture acceptable in a cardinal's villa, which meant it survived, which meant it is in Rome today for you to stand in front of. The most sensually charged sculpture of the 17th century exists because a future pope wrote a warning about the dangers of sensuality on its base. Without that inscription, it might have been destroyed. With it, it became a masterpiece that the church itself preserved for 4 centuries. There is a technical problem at the center of this sculpture that most visitors never consciously register, because if Bernini solved it correctly, and he did, you feel only the result. The problem is support. A marble figure standing on one foot with arms raised and hair spreading outward is a structure under enormous stress. The weight of the marble above has to be carried by the marble below. A running figure with one foot raised, leaning forward, arms extended. This is a weight distribution problem. The wrong solution and the sculpture collapses. Bernini's solution was threefold. He designed the visual movement to run diagonally upward from Apollo's trailing foot through the moment of contact to Daphne's arms and leaves. The eye follows this line and reads it as motion. He used the tree trunk growing from Daphne's feet as a concealed structural column, and he carved the composition at an angle that distributes the marble's weight through the base rather than through the fragile projecting elements. The laurel leaves are not holding themselves up. Every element that appears to defy gravity is secretly supported by the element immediately below it. The illusion of weightlessness is produced by structural engineering so elegant it becomes invisible. When you look at Apollo and Daphne and feel that the figures are moving, what you are actually feeling is the resolution of a weight distribution problem solved with such precision that your brain processes the answer as motion rather than physics. Subscribe to Carrara. We look at what everyone sees and find what no one notices. Bernini finished Apollo and Daphne in 1625. He received his final payment on November 24th of that year. 1,000 scudi for 3 years of work, interrupted by the David, carried to completion by a craftsman who carved marble leaves in a state of terror. It was installed in room 3 of the Villa Borghese, positioned against a wall with a single intended viewing angle. From that position, both faces are visible simultaneously. From that position, the narrative reads in a single glance: pursuit, touch, transformation, loss. In the 1700s, it was moved to the center of the room. From there, you can walk around it. Every angle offers a different story. The sculpture he designed to be read in one fixed instant became an object that changes as you move. It has been in that room for 4 centuries. It has never been moved. It has survived everything Rome has survived, and it is still doing what Bernini built it to do, stopping people in the middle of a step, pulling them out of their own movement, making them stand still in front of a figure caught in the most impossible instant. The sculpture is frozen. You are the one who stops moving. Bernini did not freeze the transformation to show you how fast metamorphosis happens. He froze it to show you how slow it can make you. You walk in and you leave standing still, looking at hands closing on bark, at hair becoming leaves, at a god discovering too late that what he caught had already become something else. The moment Bernini chose lasts a fraction of a second in the myth. In the marble, it has lasted 400 years, and as long as the marble stands, it will go on lasting.